Hello everyone, welcome to Kendriya Vidyalaya Barpeta. My name is Sanjay Kumar. Through this video we are going to study class 4 mathematics. So through this video we will cover some topic of mathematics, initial topic of mathematics. So let us start. Today the topic that we are going to study, that is first topic. The name of the first topic is building with bricks. If a question that I ask to you, like, what is the shape of brick, how does it look like, I think most of the students have seen how a brick look like. I think you have seen also at your home at the construction site. So let me show you picture of brick. Now this is the picture of brick, but if I question that ask to you what is the shape of this brick, that most of the student will say the shape of this brick is cuboid, someone will say the shape of this brick is rectangle, and someone will say cube. So through this channel, through this video, we are going to study different types of shapes, like basically building with bricks. In building with bricks we are going to study different types of shapes and what are the properties of shapes. So let us start. Now I think every student already have seen this type of shape. The name of this shape is circle, rectangle, triangle, oval, octagon. But some student will say, but we have not studied this shape in class 3rd, in class 4. But if I let me tell you first, up to class 4 we need to study only 5 shapes. First one is circle, rectangle, triangle, oval and square. Up to after class 5 or 6, then we will study octagon, this type of shapes. So up to class 4 we need to study only 5 shapes. So let us start. So if I now if we talk about shapes, so how many types of shapes that we have? So let me introduce to you. The first type is two-dimensional shapes, and the second type is three-dimensional shape. That means we have two types of shape. First one is two-dimensional shape, the second one is three-dimensional shapes. So one by one we will study about it. If we talk about two-dimensional shape, first let me tell you, two-dimensional shape is also called 2D shapes. Let me read out the definition of 2D shapes. In geometry, a two-dimensional shape can be defined as a flat plane figure or a shape that has two dimensions, length and width. Two-dimensional or 2D shapes do not have any thickness and can be measured in only two phases. That means if we talk about 2D shapes, in 2D shapes we will find only two dimensions. First one is length and the second one is width. That's why this type of shapes are called two-dimensional shapes. Let me show you some pictures of two-dimensional shapes. These are the two-dimensional shapes: circle, rectangle, triangle, oval. In these shapes you will find only length and width, like circle, rectangle, triangle. So one by one we will study about these shapes. So let me introduce some another definition of two-dimensional shapes. Plane shapes are those can be drawn on the flat surface such as paper. It has two measurements, length and breadth. So it is also known as two-dimensional or 2D shapes. That means, as we have already studied, if we talk about two-dimensional shapes, we will find only two dimensions. First one is length and the second one is breadth or width. Breadth and width are the same thing, so don't confuse over here. So that means in 2D shapes we will find only two dimensions, so length and width or breadth. But if we talk about square, square has all sides equal. That's why there is you will not find any differentiate between length and breadth in square. But if we talk about rectangle, in rectangle you will easily find out length and width or breadth. So one by one we will know more about two-dimensional shapes. So here you can see parts of 2D shapes. Like, what are the parts of 2D shapes? There are four parts of 2D shapes. First one is face, the second one is corner, third one is angle, fourth one is straight line. Face, what is face? Face, as you can see, blue part. blue part is face, and corner is this one, and the outer and the at the end of this shape is called corner. This one, this one, this one, this one. If I talk about how many corners are there, there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 corners. And if I talk about angle, what is angle? Basically angle is where two straight line intersect each other. Both line make a angle. This is angle. So this one is also angle, this one is also angle, this one is also angle, and this one is also an angle. So angle, you know how many angles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and the third one is straight line. So this is also a part of 2D shapes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight line we have already studied in class 3. Straight line is also called edges. So basically every student know what is edge. So these are the edges. How many edges are there? Then you will say 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 edges. Basically in 2D shapes you will find only 4 parts. First one is face, second one is corner, the third one is angle, and fourth one is straight line. So let me introduce another shape of 2D, that is rectangle. So in rectangle, then you will say what is the properties of rectangle? Basic properties, both we will say opposite sides are equal. This side is equal to this side is equal to this. That means opposite sides are equal basically. So again in 2D shapes there are 4 parts, same that we have already studied, like face, corner, angle and straight line. So every 2D shapes you will find 4 parts. Now let me introduce 3D shapes. So here we will find some difference over here. So if we talk about 2D shapes, then we have studied in 2D shapes width and length. But if we talk about 3D shapes, there is one more dimension, that is height. That's how many dimensions are there? 1, 2, 3. That's why these kind of shapes are called 3D shapes, because there are 3 dimensions. But in 2D shapes there is only 2 dimension. That is why 2D shapes are called 2-dimensional shapes. And if you talk about 3D shapes, there are 3 dimensions. That's why we call it 3D shapes. So here you can see this is length, this is width, and this one is height. So basically 3D shapes you will find all around your world. Every shape that you can see, you can feel, you can touch is 3D shape. Now let me introduce some example of 3D shapes. Here are some examples that you need to study in 3D shapes: cylinder, cube, rectangle, prism, sphere, pyramid and cone. This one is also called cuboid. So cylinder, cube, cuboid or rectangular prism, sphere, pyramid and cone. Now we will study about parts of 3D shapes. These are the parts of 3D shapes. As we have already studied in 2D shapes, these are called corner. In 2D shapes, these are called corners. But in 3D shapes, these are called vertex. So basically, remember this thing. In 2D shapes, these are called corner. But in 3D shapes, we will say vertex. And faces we have already discussed. What are the faces? That's this blue one, yellow one and red one. And edges, as usual in 2D shapes, like this one is edge, this one is edge, this line is edges is basically straight line, like this one and this one. So here you will find only one difference, that is vertex. So vertex in 3D shape and corner in 2D shapes. But if we talk about 3D shapes, you will find that only 3 parts are there, only 3. But in 2D shape there were 4 parts. In 2D shapes there were 4 parts, but in 3D shapes there are 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 parts are there. Let me give you another example of 3D shape so that you can know more. This one. What is the name of this shape? The name of this shape is cuboid. So here again only three parts are there, 1, 2, 3, because this shape is 3D. That's why there are only three parts. So first one is face, this one is also, this one is face, this face, this one is face, this one is face, and edges, that means straight line. This is straight line, this is straight line. So these are edges. And vertex, this one is vertex, this one is vertex, this one is vertex, this one is vertex, 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 vertex. So here you can easily identify vertex, edges and faces. So let me count the face. So how many faces are there? Let me count: 1, 2, 3 below part, 4, and 5 front part, and the back 6. In cuboid you will find only 6 part are there. And let me count vertex. How many vertex are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many vertices are there? There are 8 vertex. And let me count edges also. How many edges are there? Edges are straight lines. So let us count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. There are how many edges? There are 12 edges. So in cuboid you will find 6 face, 8 vertex and 12 edges. So let me give you another example of 3D shape, that is cube. Here you will find, this is the another example of cube. So same thing, vertex, edge, straight line. This is straight line, this one is also straight. So these are lines. Basically in shape, or wherever you will find lines are called edge. So this is edge, this one is edge, and face you can see, this one is face, this one is face, and this one is vertex. So what we have studied, I have already given you some work for you so that you can know more about, and this sheet will revise your study that like this. What if I ask to you what is the name of this shape, then you will write the name of this shape and count the edges, vertices and faces. Same thing you will do it over here, like name of this shape, cone, write down the name and edges. So now one more thing, let us count the face and edges and vertex in this shape. Okay, so first of all we will write name of this shape, cone, and let us count the edge. So let me count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 edges. So write down 8. Let me count the faces: 1, this one, this whole part, 1, 2, 2 front part, and the side part 3, and this the back part 4, and the below part 5. You can write 5 part over here. Now vertexes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many vertices are there? 5. So same thing you will do at your home. If you have any doubt, just ask your doubt in the comment box. As soon as possible I will give the answer of your doubt. Thank you for watching this video.